What's up, everybody? It's Mick Manhattan, and this is the Scene Snobs channel. I am bringing to you every Monday the replay marathon, where we show all of last week's shows right in sequential order down the line. You can watch them all throughout the Monday and stay entertained. So make sure you're checking us out on the Facebook page every Monday, starting at 9 a.m. All right, thanks, everybody. And if you missed any of the shows, make sure you head over to thescenesnobs.com, where we have links to everything. Take care.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the Scene Snobs Network, but I'm not here to talk to you about the Scene Snobs. I'm here to talk to you about Max and Jason, Three Geeks Podcast. You will probably tune into the Three Geeks Podcast and be like, 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, there's obviously more than 3. There's like 89 million of us. We started with 3. We're like gremlins. We just keep multiplying.
Yeah, they fed us at midnight. They poured some water on us. And now it's like 78 geeks. But you can be a geek too.
If you like comedy, which we sometimes do, if you like hearing about movies, TV shows, you like hearing hot takes from Max and John, you like hearing somebody who loves most things, but when I get mad about a show, it's pretty entertaining, I gotta say. But no, we're the Three Geeks Podcast. We're just a group of friends that don't talk to each other through the week, so we can have natural conversations on Sunday.
Yep.
We're like actually probably the worst group of friends because we don't ever talk to each other outside of doing podcasts. I mean, except for you and I. That's because we're roommates. But like Three Geeks Podcast. Tune in, check us out,
and have fun.
Yes.
Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah. And recycle your droids.
Totally insane.
They pushed me out and paced me.
Those are the facts.
Hey everyone, it's John Orlando from the PVD Cast, and I wanted to take a few moments of your time to let you know where you can find the PVD Cast. The online home of yours truly, PVDcast.com, is a great place to go, but it's also available through all the major podcasting platforms like Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, etc. There's also live broadcasts of the PVD Cast every single week. Mondays 8 p.m. Eastern through the Facebook page of the PVD Cast, and Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. through the Scene Snobs Facebook page. And no matter how you listen, please make sure you rate, review, and subscribe. And with that, I will chat at each and every one of you later.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, Part 6. And you're listening to the scenesnobs.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Scene Snob, Mick Manhattan, and I'm here to tell you guys about the scenesnobs.com. We're a channel of variety, comedy, entertainment, geek-related, sports, the whole 9 yards. We cover almost every genre. And we have so many great shows to choose from. We have shows like the Scene Snobs Podcast, BTB Podcast, The Guapo Show, The Sports Snobs Podcast, The PVD Cast, Jeff Dwoskin Presents Crossing the Streams, The Three Geeks Podcast, The Fandom Effect. We probably have the only Matlock-based podcast called Matt Talk, and we're introducing new shows all the time. We have new shows coming up like the Ear Hustling Podcast, Carpool Shenanigans, and of course, from Some Nobodies, Twitching Upstream and Talking Upstream. So come on, check out thescenesnobs.com, enjoy it, And please leave feedback. Like, follow, subscribe us, and just let us know what you think. We love to have all the interaction.
Here is Sub-Zero. Now, Plane Zero.
Now, with that being said, of course, I got to bring us all on. What's going on, gentlemen? Welcome to Podchatters.
Hi, Jeff.
It said so maniacally.
What's up, everyone? How's everyone?
Good,
Dandy.
good.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Did everybody else make a lot of money like I did on GameStop today?
I made a shitload yesterday.
No,
I did very good yesterday.
I am not one of the cool Reddit kids.
And I did very good on American Airlines today.
Uh-oh.
And AMC. AMC did very well today, and I sold that.
I'm telling you, somebody needs to
Are
just
you
start
really,
doing
are you really buying, Fred, or are you just joking? I can't tell.
No, I did. I actually already owned it. I already owned AMC, and then the Reddit people bounced it up so high that it started tanking. I woke up this morning, and it was $14 more than I paid for it per share. And then it was 13, then it was 12. And I said, the hell with this, I'm selling. I sold it I made $10 a share. I mean, I got into it not expecting to make $1 a share. I was just going to hold it till COVID and hoping that people run out to the theater. But yeah, the whole thing was great.
Damn. All right. Well, at least somebody made out on it. I mean, a lot of people.
Fred, I need you to teach me how to do that kind of stuff. I need a board. I need to get a board.
Oh, I got one for Mick too. I got one for Mick.
Okay.
Bros.
Nice.
What was that?
Instead of Mick Manhattan, you're Fred. He's Fred.
Freddie Five Boroughs.
Freddie Five Boroughs.
Freddie Five Boroughs. Oh,
That's my rap name.
All right, gentlemen. Yeah, I figured I'd bring us on tonight and talk some shit, see what's going on in the world, see what's pissing everybody off. Actually, what I'd like to do is talk about TV shows that we're watching and streaming.
Actually, I'd like to talk about why Tim is stealing my look and wearing a Detroit Tigers hat. It's all I got, Tim. It's all I got.
Are you there?
I realize, like, when I don't wear a hat, my forehead to me looks so big and shiny.
Well, my problem is that I have.
Fred doesn't care about that, but I
yeah, I haven't had a haircut in a while, and my last one is what I like to call the COVID cut, where I just, So the wife's not a fan; she doesn't want me to do it again. So I'm trying to let it grow out. It's in that weird in between stage where I probably should not be seen without a hat.
I used to go to this guy, and I paid a lot of money because early on I was convinced that I have a weird shaped head, so that I always went to like a fancy haircutter person, and then it was just I was paying that same amount just to come home and put a hat on and never shower. So I switched to a different girl, and then I ended up liking it better. So,
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, could I complain to the owner here? Can I complain to Mick?
Of course.
How come I can't share the video so people that could watch it?
I don't know.
It's not shareable. It just says like or comment on your page.
Well, I'm getting there.
There's no
It
share.
should be share. It says share for me.
I want to share. It says Mick Manhattan is live now. I'm on your personal page.
Oh, on my personal page? No, you gotta go to the Scene Snobs and share from there.
Jeez, you make it so difficult.
I make it. Listen,
All these hoops
I'm
to
not
jump.
marketing Mick Manhattan. All right. Nobody cares about Mick Manhattan.
Let's talk about. So this is StreamYard, right? And then so I've been having this issue with one of the guys on my show, and it's got to be StreamYard related with iPads. Scott Curtis was on, and he was saying that they prioritize video over sound. So when there's an issue, that's when the clicking starts.
Oh yeah, it's terrible, and it's only Apple related. The phones or iPads.
Oh, that's
it. I don't know. I had the same problem on what's the other one we all used to use before this?
Restream.
No, I guess then we didn't all use it. Zoom. I had the same problem with Zoom after a while too.
Yeah, I do well on Zoom. My Zoom recordings are so much better than my StreamYard recordings. I just struggle with this StreamYard stuff, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's
nice to be able to go to two places.
The StreamYard stuff is great for like the overlays and having the images ready and everything ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The multiple streams is nice. I wish I could do that with Zoom, where you could send it off to multiple places all at once. I prefer Zoom, but for this type of setting, StreamYard, Restream, whichever you choose, same thing, different dress. So
yeah,
I haven't done any interviews on StreamYard.
I did. I did one, and it. Remember, I was talking to you privately about it. How Jennifer was complaining. My co-host was complaining about the sound quality of it on her end when we were doing it, and I think she was either clipping. I don't know. She doesn't have as professional of a setup, but I think I figured it out that it was on my end with my production center. I was clipping, and it was causing her on. Who knows? I'm so tired of editing. Even talking about editing is tiring.
Yeah,
I know.
I did one interview I did a live interview on StreamYard for Focused on Forward with Scott Silverman. And I thought it was okay. I thought it worked great for that setting because that way I could send it to YouTube and Facebook all at the same time. And my Twitch, I think, which I had all of 0 watching from Twitch because nobody knows I'm on there. And
I get one user.
I
think that's an average.
Jealous of your one user.
Yeah, we have 17-year-old kids on Twitch who have like 6 million viewers at every episode, and we get one.
Yeah, but they're streaming video games and all that kind of stuff. I'm talking about nerd stuff, and they are the nerds playing the game. So so there's a big difference. But
very fair. Well, so for you guys, like, all right, so you're still using Zoom? I just got out of it. I figured I'd back out of that and start using StreamYard for everything.
It's expensive. It all gets expensive after. I have Zoom, and I have a phone. He just mentioned Scott Silverman. So me and Scott Silverman and my co-host Jennifer Field have a new podcast starting February 5th.
Oh, nice.
And it's based on it's a live YouTube format where addicts or their families could actually call in, and then we are going to guide them to the first step they need to take to solve the problem.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's a new show that's starting. I think, our first show is Friday night, February 5th.
That's awesome.
We're going to try to do once a week, but you can't do that on StreamYard. I can't figure out how to get the phone to ring because it's a live call-in show, but through Zoom, I could get a Zoom phone number. So I was able to get one, but that's a big pain in the ass. The whole thing's a pain in the ass because if you you need 3 people there. If you only have 2, what happens is the phone rings and it shuts me out of the video. So right now, if my phone rang and we were doing live call-ins, it would cut me out of the video when I pick up the phone. Now I'm talking privately to that person, getting their story. Then I could loop them into the Zoom meeting with a more brevity. So I don't have to hear, Johnny Cokehead tell his 20-minute story and go, there's other people on the line, hopefully. So we can't have him pulling the whole time. But if I leave the room and Scott's there by himself, what does he do? Just stare into it like scanners like this? What's he going to do? So you need a third person so they could keep talking during the live video shoot while I'm on the phone. And there you go. It's a production. I'm
gonna wait till February 19th, and then I'm gonna call in and be like long-time listener, first-time caller.
Listen, we'll probably be begging for phone calls by then. I might send you some bottles of liquor just so you could get hooked.
Right? Could you sauce up by the 19th? I'm gonna need it.
Listen, I just want to see Jeff be a caller every episode just to tie up the line.
Oh, he will. I get the feeling Jeff was asking me questions about calling and hiding the phone numbers and stuff like that. I think he was really trying to do it so when he calls into my show and fucks with me.
No, Jeff.
I reached out to someone. I reached out to someone who. I'm sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just
we were going at the same time, and I was just like, it became chicken, and then who's gonna back down? Go, Tim. Go.
No, I was just saying. I can just imagine you calling in and be like, "Hi, I'm Jeff. I get to talk to famous people like Bob Zaney."
Yeah. Jeff Dwoskin, name drop.
I worked with Bob Zaney. That's how it is.
There we go. Here we go.
Bob Zaney because I saw him on your page.
Yeah. But it's
hey, did you know about Bobby Lee? Anybody see the picture of him with Bobby Lee? He knows Bobby Lee too. Tell him about it, Jeff.
So I worked with Bobby Lee and Steve Randazzinski. I can't say his last name. But here's the funny thing: I didn't know who Bobby Lee was when I worked with Bobby Lee. I'd never watched Mad TV before. So, so when I got there, they're like, one of these guys was on Mad TV. I didn't know who it was. And Steve later went on, like a couple weeks later, I'm sitting there watching, I'm embarrassed to say this, Paul Blart Mall Cop in the theater. And I'm like, holy crap, that's the guy I just worked with. He's in the movie. He was like the bad guy. And I was like, and so that was kind of funny. But yeah, Bobby Lee like pretty much stripped down. It was pretty funny.
That's cool.
I mean, on stage he did that. It was kind of what I was going to say is somebody I had reached out to wanted I had to be on the podcast, counter offers me and says he wants me to call somebody else and talk about him to that person. Not like in a bad way, just jokingly just keep referencing him like I'm doing right now, I guess, with Bobby Lee. And then, so in this scenario, Bobby Lee would be listening and then you go, hey, just kidding, and then Bobby Lee would pop on. But there's no way to really do it where someone can kind of just listen in and then jump in the middle or something and have heard what was going on. So,
yeah. And I couldn't wrap my head around how to make it happen. I couldn't figure it out. It just didn't, it makes sense. It's fun. It's funny. I just can't wrap my head around the production of it, to produce it. And I feel I've lost sleep because of this. Jeff makes me lose fucking sleep, because he asked me these questions about production and I want to help him. He's like, it's like, I feel like it's my, what is it when you give a sick kid a special,
a make-a-wish?
A make-a-wish. It's like podcast make-a-wish. Make a wish for Jeff. And I feel like I failed him. And at any time now, this could all be done. It's quite sad. Quite sad. Poor Jeff.
You guys.
I'll give Jeff a compliment. He has the best produced show on the Scene Snobs. I'll tell you that much right now. He's got all beautiful overlays.
That's one of those things that sounds like a compliment.
We just have such a low bar on the Scene Snobs. Actually, I had a question for you, Jeff, about stand-up. How's the world of stand-up doing right now?
Who have I worked with?
Tell me everyone you've worked with in order.
Listen to his podcast.
This might be my favorite episode ever.
I think most people are doing Zoom stuff. Some people are starting to go back into the clubs, though. I mean, some of them are starting to open up. Depends on the areas and if they allow what they allow for. I saw some in Michigan seem to be opening. I don't know how they're doing that, but I don't. Until people start getting more vaccines, I'm not going anywhere. So,
well, for you, when writing sets and stuff like that, like especially like in the last year or so, is like how much has it changed your comedy in writing?
Oh, I haven't written one thing.
But you're not.
I mean, like what I write now is like when I'm doing my podcast. Like some of the shtick up front is kind of like what I see. That's kind of what I've been doing, or just having a good time with the interviews. I did the live show to have it be like one step closer to being on stage. I mean, no audience, but it's still, you know, you're still live, you know, it's still happening while, you know, there's no editing. But, you know, I think everything will be back to normal like in the next 6 months, you know, once I think there's all these, has a heated tent. That does sound nice. I got, you know, my issue is, here's the thing. My issue is, and like my kids just had this problem at college, you're only as good as the weakest link, right? So this person's boyfriend decides he's going to the frat party and then boom, boom, boom. I mean, because the chain moves quick. You know, the exposure chain moves quick.
Right.
And so, you know, you go to a club. Here's the thing. Most of the people are lying to the doctors. Have you gone to this? Or, I mean, if I'm walking into a store and they go, have you been exposed? No, I haven't been exposed. I mean, who's saying yes? They're not going to get into the store. They drove to the store. So they're not going to say they were exposed.
Yeah,
so everyone's walking in.
I would question. I wonder sometimes if I did get COVID, would I tell anybody? Because I get worried looking at all these people. You ever see, you know, the people that the poor me pity parties they throw on Facebook, you know, and go down. They got to tell you who they're dating, who they're sleeping with, and all the things in between. But they tell you every symptom they got. But I wonder where it's being kept. Are you marked the minute you say that? Like, are they watching you? And I'm not telling anybody. I ain't telling you shit. I'll make out with you.
Our movie theater opened up here in July, and like they practice safe precautions, stuff like that, and they were showing Die Hard in December. Now, I've never seen Die Hard on the big screen. Wanted to see it. I was super excited. Got a ticket. You know, it's like an exclusive ticket. Like only a certain amount of people can go. And one person I know who had COVID, got tested, had it, was sick from it, put everything on Facebook, was just in oh, I got my ticket for Die Hard. I'm like, returned.
Yeah.
It's like, you've ruined it for me.
God.
Yeah.
Now they're saying you should be wearing 2 masks. It's like,
well, that's for 85%, you know, and if you wear 3, you get 105%. I did the math. And that's pretty good too.
I do credit.
But here's the thing, like when back to the comedy thing is like, you know, I'm talking to this mic, right? I have to walk. If a club had 3 mics, if there were 3 comedians, an MC, a middle, and a headliner, and they had 3 mics, I'd maybe consider it more. But you're at the mercy of the person who goes before you, right?
Right.
And so, you know, and they're spitting right into it. So it's like it's a worst case scenario for me. I mean, like at least if you're passing someone by, but if someone's, I didn't like it when like people would just cough into the mic and then I'd have to go out and talk. And this is pre-COVID. I didn't, you know, not that I was like a germphobe, but like I didn't like it because I don't like any sick in general.
Jeff,
you know?
tell me, because I've never seen you do stand up. Tell me your best joke you ever wrote. I want to hear it.
No, you can Google me on.
You can't. You're a stand-up comic. Entertain. Hold on.
No, stop.
Let me get a stick.
I know one rule.
I'm gonna poke him.
Dance monkey.
Dance.
Dance monkey.
Don't say, tell me a joke.
Yeah,
So
yes.
here, I have a question for Jeff, and this is a legit question. So I was listening to Scott Curtis's Behind the Bits when he interviewed Steve Hofstetter, and which I'm a Hofstetter fan. I think you know his stuff is pretty funny.
I interviewed him too.
Oh, did you?
Well, you know, I worked with Steve way back when, and Steve put a post on Facebook once. He's like, "Hey, I'm going to be driving for 3 days. If anyone wants to interview me for their podcast," and so I did, because you know, and I just have it recorded, and now you know, and so I reached out to Scott. And I'm like, "Did you do it from that post?" He's like, "Yeah." There was somebody else who did too, but he didn't retweet any of the people that did the podcast for him. So I'm not in a rush to get it out.
No, that's unfortunate. He should definitely do that. So my question is that so Hofstetter in Scott's interview mentions the fact that he's doing like an online comedy club thing where, you know, I can't remember how he said they're doing it. It might even be through Zoom. I'm not entirely sure. But have you considered doing anything like that? Writing material, you know, booking an event like that where people are actually buying tickets to come on and watch? And or is it just that you're afraid that just the one guy on Twitter is going to be the only guy buying? Or
it's not that. It's one I will say, Steve is amazing at marketing himself and creating these opportunities. He's a master of that. I'll go, and part of it was for me doing comedy. It's being on that stage in front of those people. It's it's doing that live that was always exciting to me.
Immediate feedback.
Yeah, it's not even just the challenge of it. Whether you're going to succeed or fail is it was just you walk out there and it's just you on that stage. I don't get any joy. To me, it's so awkward speaking into my computer. You know what I mean? And it's like some people do it, and they enjoy it. But I don't think anyone. I don't know if anyone enjoys it. But like, it's not. Speaking at something isn't what stand-up comedy is to me, or why I enjoy doing it. So I don't, I didn't feel a need, or I don't miss not being part of any Zoom comedy.
I enjoy it. I enjoy Jeff's show because every week I didn't even know I needed a fucking kitchen table till I listened to Jeff's show, and Jeff sold me a kitchen table. I'm listening to it, and I go, wait, I have room in my kitchen. And Jeff has this, he has the greatest sponsors. He's sponsored by kitchen tables. It's amazing. And I thank you for that. We got the nicest kitchen table because of you.
Well, I thank you for supporting the sponsor. That's how I keep the lights on.
I can tell you.
You just about killed me.
I can tell you about 70 different companies that make appliances, make different things. I can't tell you one company that makes tables, kitchen tables.
You really can't. Yeah, that is a little different. But I'm also I'm starting to realize that me being in this room, if I'm not kicked out of a certain network by midnight, I don't know what else I could do, because this looks like this is where I belong. It feels like I feel like I belong here.
Hey, you belong, Fred. You belong, Fred.
I want to welcome Zack and Dylan from Some Nobodies on the show. What's going on, gentlemen?
Hello.
Right now, it's
howdy.
Fred making fun of Jeff. That's kind of where the show just kind of went.
And he just about killed me while trying to take a sip of my coffee. So thanks, Fred. Appreciate that.
I thought Fred was just. I enjoyed what Fred was saying, because you don't get the feedback because it's a podcast. So
yeah.
early on, I decided my running joke was going to be just making up sponsors, and then sometimes the sponsors, you guys will appreciate this. Sometimes that one was generic, the kitchen table, but Mike Young has a joke about tables, so that inspired it. So usually I try and do something later episodes. I try and make up a sponsor that relates to my guest. So for example, this is how meta I get with it. If you listen to the Kelly Maroney episode, the sponsor is the paint store from Chopping Mall that she blows up the final robot in. And that's the sponsor of the thing, is that. I was in there, I was watching the movie, and I wrote it down, and I wrote a whole bit around that store being the sponsor. But
we actually have a comment that says, "Thank you for the spoiler. Now I don't have to listen to that show."
Does your guest get it? Like, have all your guests kind of picked up on it?
No, nobody gets it. But I don't really want to become famous by followers. Nice.
We know who's watching on Twitch.
Yes.
That's how you know you made it.
Mick's shows are huge in the Ukraine right now.
Is that Jeff's one follower? Did he come over
from Twitch?
He followed us over.
Oh, it's from Twitch. It is from Twitch.
Yeah, it's from Twitch.
You should know, Jeff.
No, Zach. No, not one person ever gets any of those references. But this is my dream, Zach. Is that one day I will leave this earth and people will listen to my podcast and they'll go, "Wait a minute, there was some deeper meanings here. Wait, there's gold here." Everyone re-listen, and there'll be like a Criterion collection, talking about my.
Which one?
We call that the Van Gogh strategy.
Yeah,
Which one is Zach? Which one is Zach? Duck Dynasty or Axl Rose?
Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I'm putting Fred on this side because he's facing them.
There you go. Okay, so Zach's over there.
Yeah.
That's Axl Rose right there.
That's true.
I guess I'll take it. Ugh, all right.
Let's give him credit, though. It's young, sexy Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Not now bloated out. Off stage,
if I make it that long, I'm targeting that demographic.
Yeah, as opposed to podcasting Moby over there.
I was just on their show. We've created an amazing movie that's going to be coming out in the next couple months.
That's true. You went a different route than I thought, which now I feel bad, and we might not air that episode because I feel like we put you in a bad spot, and I feel awkward now, and I don't know what to do about it.
No, we moved past the awkwardness. It's fine.
All right. Well, I know, but even when I reached back out, I was like, "Hey, sorry about that," and your like lack of response was like, "All right, I think I did mess up that time, so that's cool."
Oh, I maybe just didn't see your thing because of overabundance of drama.
So yeah. If you guys don't know what Talking Upstream is that Dylan and I pitch a very weird idea to our guest of the week, and then that guest chooses one of the ideas that we work down into a project. And I pitched an idea that might be very close to everyone's heart right now, especially in this show. And once I realized that idea was not going to get chosen, then I started feeling pretty awkward about it. So I'll let you guys know what that pitch was later, but I think you can probably figure it out. It was a scam heist thing. It was crazy.
We went a different direction. It was fine.
What was the awkwardness? Did you say his last name wrong?
Oh no, we didn't mention any person, but it's going to be about an hour of writing this story. So who knows what was going to come out accidentally? So I think
don't worry. Mick still says his name wrong in the ad.
Every time. I think it's a Jersey accent thing. I cannot say it right. I practice and then still say it wrong.
Are you talking about my name?
Yes.
Oh, when you say Dwoskin?
Well, I can't.
I don't even say it right. It's Dwoskin.
I know.
But if you listen to me say it, I'm like Jeff Dwoskin. I get all excited on my podcast, and I don't. And I add this weird.
There's a secret apostrophe between the D and the W. Jeff Dwoskin.
You got a great name. When I told my wife, who was on our show, she was so excited, and she called her mom, and she goes, "Guess what? I think Zach's actually making it. He's got Andy Dwoskin on his show." And I'm like, hey, "It's Jeff. It's Jeff Dwoskin." But I mean, she said you sound like a superstar. So
she sounds like Ray Romano. It's Ray Romano. Hey, Robert.
Great. I am never going to be able to unhear that. Thank you.
I like that.
Every episode now is just going to be. I will tell you the one thing that really bugs me about everybody on this panel tonight is you all have shows that in some way, shape, or form help people, and I don't. I don't think there's any real value to any of the shows that I do. We
agree. We agree.
I know you do.
You don't help anybody.
Speak for
me. I wouldn't say that a podcast about what TV shows you can waste your life watching is helping anyone.
Yeah, I mean,
I appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah, in all fairness, our show is trying to make us famous, so we're only really trying to help ourselves.
We are incredibly self-serving. But
you bring out
sure everybody in
the entertaining side. You're either helping with focused on forward. I mean, come on, Fred.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a good show. And Fred's new show is going to help people, and then so there's a lot, and then but other than that, I mean, my podcast, Live from Detroit, the Jeff Dwoskin Show, helps people get through boredom.
Helps them not go to Detroit. Don't go to Detroit. Stay out of Detroit.
Detroit's fine.
Detroit's actually really nice, and you got two people representing the D here. Tim and
I know. I've heard about you representing the D.
Boom.
Well, that's a whole different story.
Well, Dylan's close. Dylan's from closer there.
Yeah, I didn't grow up there. I spent a lot of time in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is not Detroit, but I went into Detroit a lot.
Yeah.
My
Every
sister's
time
out there.
somebody mentions,
It's
I just
Detroit
think all
adjacent.
of Michigan is Detroit at this point.
It is.
Detroit, Grand Rapids, Traverse City. That's all you really
Yeah.
need to know.
If
And
it's
in
not
Northern
what,
Peninsula, but that's all made up like nonsense wilderness.
Michael Phelps made Ann Arbor famous. You know when a city's famous when you're watching a like a global news, not local news, and they'll just say Ann Arbor. Like when they were talking about during the Olympics, and they go, Michael Phelps from Ann Arbor.
Right.
When they don't say the state, you know, everyone knows what they're talking about.
And when I'm telling people where I'm from, I have to say Yale. I say Yale University, and everybody knows New Haven, then Connecticut, but they don't know anything about Connecticut until you say Yale. Nobody, you guys know nothing about Connecticut, do you?
No.
Isn't that where Yale is?
Like the little hook, right?
No.
No, I think that's Rhode Island.
I was partying up in New
No.
Haven once.
That's
Rhode
Massachusetts.
Island. I don't think it's a hook.
Oh yeah, that's Massachusetts.
It's Massachusetts.
Dylan
Cape
and his
Cod.
girl from Rhode Island.
What's the one next to Oregon?
Washington.
California?
Yes.
Wyoming.
I was partying in New Haven once, and I got threatened by like a line of cops because they just are bored and don't want to do anything. Like it's supposedly a rough city too.
What, New Haven? Yeah, it's our murder capital. I mean, a lot of people died there. A lot of Yaleys. You know, you got the Yale police and you got the regular police. But yeah, it's different. It's good pizza, best pizza in the world. I don't care what.
Yeah, all right. Let's go a little bit south. All right.
Yale police and their tactical monocles.
Yeah.
Best pizza ever.
Everyone talks about Yale pizza.
Best pizza ever. You look it up. Sally's and Pepe's. Sally's Pizza and Pepe's Pizza. And they're right next door to each other. If you went to Pepe's Pizza right now, it would take you 3 hours to get in. There'd be a line and people wait. That's how good it is.
COVID.
It takes me longer than that. We're from Colorado.
If you know the pizza guy from that he does those pizza TikToks and
Carrot Top?
No, he does those
Pretty sure
where he
it's
takes
Papa
one
John's.
bite of pizza and he ranks the pizza, whether it's an 8.0. He's got
I've seen that, yeah.
Oh, that's what we should do.
What,
Fred, you
eat
just give me-
pizza?
Yeah, well, no, not it could be pizza, but like those videos where I used to work at Little Caesars, and so we would watch and monitor when we'd put out headquarters, not a store. Zack.
Hey, whatever, buddy. Hey, you brag all you want.
Anyway, but my point is, when a new product comes out, it's a whole like cottage industry for people to go and be the first one to buy it, and they'll be like, look at the pizza, and they're always in their car, and they're like, I'm gonna taste the crust, and they go, oh, the mozzarella, they eat it, and then they rate it or something. We could all go get the same food. And it could be it doesn't have to be pizza. It could be the new Popeyes sandwich, whatever it is. And like that could be a show. That could be a show where we all go, and then we're all testing it in different cities.
Jeff, I just want to be clear. You were part of a team that worked for Little Caesars, and your team was like, maybe not pizza. Let's think of something else.
Yeah.
Right? That's you?
Well, no,
They're like, pizza's not working for us. Let's go bites.
Jeff had that idea that went out.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Are you talking about a product? Well, are you talking about the crazy bread?
Jeff's like,
I don't know what new
eat 3 sacks of crazy bread, you get a free Detroit Tigers hat.
No, if you're talking about stuffed crazy bread, that stuff was amazing, dude. That stuff was.
I just want to point
I don't
out.
work there anymore, but
I just want to point out that I had an idea and it took Jeff 5 minutes to steal it. So,
Oh no,
this is the world I live in. I guess I don't know.
Oh, were you going to come up with that idea? Because it just
I
sounded
was
like.
I was trying to. But,
well, because you didn't actually say it, I actually said it. So, Mick, can you roll back the tape and see whose idea it was?
All I want out of this whole conversation is for Jeff to say, Deborah, let's go get a sandwich.
All right.
My brother Robert.
I apologize that Fred accidentally inspired me to steal his idea just before he said it. But you did inspire it. I wouldn't have thought of it had you not said what you said. But
Listen, all right. Can we just please leave Jeff alone? He has the highest rated show on the Scene Snobs right now.
Again, sounds like a compliment.
Have you come locked and loaded, Fred, or did you just make that while we're sitting here talking?
No, I mean, I don't. I've got them prepared. I had it prepared. I knew I was coming on your show.
I need to get a thing just so I can do that. I want to be able to put
get a bunch of them. Fred heads.
You just screen sharing? You come with all these already preloaded?
But you can't control someone else's though, right, Fred?
No.
Okay.
Nope, not at all.
I like
figure that out myself. God damn.
I do promo while I'm listening to you.
Yeah, you are doing promo. It works. So
I know. I need to be able to do that.
Oh, I should tell you, we actually have a new thing coming up. So every first show of every month is going to be within the head of Jen. My co-host is going to take over one show a month, and it's going to be women specific, where she's going to talk, and we're going to try to build our. I thought it was a good marketing plan on her end. She came up with the idea, and she's going to market towards women, so we get more women listeners. So once a month, she's going to come on and talk about, I don't know, her period. I don't know what she's going to talk about, but she's going to talk.
You're going to keep those women listeners.
Yeah. No wonder you have 0 listeners now.
Well, we're gonna listen. I told her it'll be after 8 p.m. so the dishes are all done and the clothes are folded.
Oh Jesus!
And all that is done. You know, let's.
So
I think it's a great idea. I think Head with Jen is going to be very
25% of the time do you get to talk about women, and it's only going to be about their periods, and the dishes have to be done.
Yes, exactly. Within the head of Jen.
That's some strong marketing for 0 followers.
Inclusivity is important, I guess.
Yeah, it'll work. You know, you guys have to get a pretty co-host, and she's listening right now. She's in here somewhere because she's commenting.
So if you get a female co-host, you don't have to care about women. You can just have one there.
Right.
Okay. Good.
Right.
I think we'll do the other way.
I just went with I have the whole package, Fred. So I don't have to.
I'm gonna have to ask my co-host Nick if he's the pretty one. So
I'm better looking than her.
Zach's the look and the talent, so I'm just here.
That's true. Dylan pushes a lot of buttons on the keyboard, though.
Look at that.
You got to keep that meal ticket going, man. That's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
They make it look pretty. Get the lighting going and everything. You get the mood in. Let me ask you guys about sponsors real quick. So, like, what has been your biggest, I don't know, your biggest hiccup or road bump with finding sponsors?
Asking anyone?
Yeah, reaching out.
We make all ours up.
Yeah. So with Funny Science Fiction, we have a made up sponsor in every show. It's the same one every show, but we tailor it to loosely to the guest that's coming on.
So Tim, do you say you had Kelly Maroney on? Would you do like?
Wait, that sounds very familiar.
I would probably make sure that my sponsor for that show was a paint store in the town. No, just kidding. So like, we have somebody coming on tomorrow, and he's got a background with animation and things like that. So ours is called the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund, which is a tie-in to Star Trek. So the guy who started our group, and the author who wrote the book called Custodians of the Cosmos, Drayton Allen, in the book has a guy who wanted to be a member of Starfleet. He washed out of the Federation and decided to become a janitor. And the book is written about those who boldly go to clean up after those who boldly just went.
What do you hate Star Trek, man?
No, he's actually a huge Star Trek fan, and so it's all about how this janitor has to rise up and save the day because the rest of the guys in the Federation are blown out. But there's the running joke in Star Trek fandom: if you're wearing a red shirt, you're a dead man. The only one to survive was Scotty. Let's be serious. out of the original series. So so we started a pseudo charity, called it the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund. And it's all about how after they don't come back from their away missions, that they're taken care of by the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund. And so every episode, it's this episode is brought to you by the Red Shirt Widows and Orphans Fund. Imagine the comfort that the Red Shirt will have in episode 17, 14 minutes in, when he's eaten by some amorphous blob on planet Xanadu or whatever crap planet he's on. And then we have a little bit of a story attached to it. And then we actually started tying it to a real charity. And we sell merch for it, and when the merch sells, we give 100% of the profits to a foundation based out of Detroit called Wish Upon a Teen.
Nice, it's awesome, yeah. So you really showed up. What I was gonna say.
That's all I got, though. I mean, we don't have anybody that's really on the outside world going, "Hey, we like your stuff. Let's give you some money and you do some cool stuff for us." That hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I have one sponsor. My wife started a business same time I started the Scene Snobs, and she is vastly more successful than I am.
So you want to take on new shows?
It's the cookie company that you guys see me play, and I've actually gotten more viewers just by playing her stuff and her mentioning it.
You should be eating our cookies during the show.
Yeah, you should.
She's made like special Scene Snobs cookies before.
Actually, we should receive cookie plates for being a guest on your show.
We should.
I'm not against that idea.
She's mad at me right now because I didn't do the dishes like I promised I would. So probably not tonight. But
you didn't do the dishes?
Must be the guy's night.
Can we go back to Fred's idea?
I divorced my dishwasher 20 years ago. So it's all over at this point. I got a daughter, so
let's go back to Fred's idea of the food eating.
Oh my God.
Am I gaining any women out there? Anybody wonder why I'm single? Anybody?
No. I thought it was no.
Was I supposed to be wondering?
No.
Bueller?
But yeah, from a marketing standpoint, when you're marketing the podcast and stuff, you can't, with getting commercials and stuff like that, it's really difficult because of the genres you're in and stuff. Like I do a lot of authors, so I know a lot of authors, and whenever they have a new book coming out, I'll charge them something like $10 for me to mention their book, and I make a book trailer for them. But on the new podcast we're doing, we have angel investors, which are behind us, helping us with the promo part of it. But it's not putting anything in our pockets yet, but it's an interesting way to find. There's people out there, believe it or not. There are people out there that are willing to pay. It's just the work, doing the work.
Yeah, we have a weird situation where people come to us and they say, "We want you to do a show for us. What do we got to buy you?" And we're like, "I guess
our equipment."
Yeah, it's like, I guess we don't have a mixer, so can you buy us a mixer? And they go, "Yeah, sure, we'll buy you a mixer. Give us 10 episodes of a show." And we're like, "Okay, we'll think of something." But yeah, I mean, other than that, we have a couple of Patreon members, but it is difficult getting a sponsor, especially when you are an indie pod, because your markets have to mesh. Like our show is about creativity and coming up with movies and trying to find a sponsor either locally or even like another show where it's like, "Hey, you give us some money and we'll talk about your show." And they're like, "To who?" And we're like, "All right, well, that's rude, but whatever."
That's rude.
Yeah. But
and for us, really, I mean, other than creating our own sponsors, it's our own sponsors. We'll use air quotes. It's hard because Funny Science Fiction, we just posted our 17th episode. We're still a young podcast, so getting somebody to believe in us that we're going to grow and that we're moving forward, it's kind of difficult. And I mean, yeah, we've had some nice success so far, and we're getting good downloads and getting good views on YouTube and all that. But it's not the big numbers of these guys who are doing the, "Hey, I just started my very first podcast, and my first episode had 25,000 downloads," and and whatever other crap they're selling, which I don't know how they're doing that, but whatever, they're paying somebody. But yeah, it's for us, it's an issue of just being the new kid on the block and trying to convince somebody that we're worthy of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't get those people that I was talking about that today. I just did my first episode. I got 2,500 downloads. I'm a nobody. I'm like, really? 2,500, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't know what that's all about. I know a lot of them are just selling shit, but I know for like my old podcast, we had sponsors, and it was very much we got the numbers after doing years and years and years of just, social media, things like that. But it was still kind of early. It was still kind of young for podcasts to be doing that. So I think we were like right at the front of it, and that's how we kind of got sponsors there. But then, but now it seems like it's a different game. It seems like you got to focus on your content first, and once your content is kind of like in a really good spot, like then you see more traffic, and then.
Yeah, I think that might be one of the few reasons that we had a couple people on our Patreon show up, because our content is very weird. Like between Silicon Angels and podcast, whoever knows about that show, and all the weird stuff we do, like we're doing such weird niche stuff that I think a couple people kind of found it was like, I like that. That's cool. I want that to continue. So
we do a fair amount of fiction, which is a strange spot from what I understand, podcasting. Just in that there's not this continuous stream. A lot of our stuff tends to be like, we put out 12 episodes of Silicon Angels. We got a second season coming. We're putting out another, we're doing the 18 episode, like Choose Your Own Adventure thing sometime next month. That's going to be 18 episodes and done for that story. So it's hard to get people who are willing to invest in like an ongoing thing to invest into something that's far more limited in format, because that's just how it lies.
Yeah,
right. Because you're not Ryan Murphy. Like I've been lucky with my Patreon. I make probably not as much as you guys, but like 8,900 a month. And no, I'm just kidding. I don't make anything.
I was like, wow, I'm jealous. I
can't even get someone to buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com.
Damn, Zach, we got to start faking it.
Yeah,
we got to start buying Jeff coffees.
We got to make our own Buy Me a Coffee.
I'm like, buymeacoffee.com. And then but I don't even want people doing that. I just want people subscribing. It's like I know how many people like I have on Twitter and this and that. And like, so when someone says they get 2,500 on their first thing, they're not telling you the story, because there's no way. We all know that it doesn't matter how many friends and family you have on Facebook, they ain't listening to your podcast. It's true. It's like,
yeah, it's hard to push it. My daughter puts a picture up on Instagram and gets 6,000 likes. But she'll never put my podcast on her Instagram, so those 6,000 people see that. It just doesn't work that way. And I'm just not a hot girl. That's my problem.
Well, here's the thing. Girl. I had a friend.
I think that is
I had a friend who had some really big Twitter things. So I did a post for one of my things and had him retweet on these big things. It had like 70,000 impressions. I mean, like in a very short period of time. It didn't move. 16 people clicked on the link.
So it didn't move the needle for you at all, but it had a lot of impressions.
Yeah, tons of impressions, but it didn't move the needle at all.
I think that's one of the harder issues, especially because right now, with COVID last year, I mean, how many podcasts started up in 2020? There was a glut, and I'll admit, I'm one of those guys who started a podcast in 2020. I'm a guy who started 2 podcasts in 2020 because I was doubly stupid, and but we've got these 2 shows going, and it's hard to get people to follow that trail and get them started on it. Now, it's especially even harder for me. So one of the confusing things for me is to cross people over from, we have a science fiction group on Facebook. It has 105,000 members in the group. Getting them interested in the podcast, trying to show them value of the podcast, when we started it, we were like, man, we've got this group. At the time, there was only 90,000 people in the group. And I say only, but there was 90,000 people in the group. And I'm like, there's 90,000 people in the group. We should get, like 1,000 views a week, at least a minimum. You know, even if it's just 1% of that group, we're gonna tear it up.
Well,
right.
It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't
No.
work. But
No.
I did see I saw an interesting thing today where very similar to this stock stuff that's happening. If we agreed right now, you know, to follow, if we got a bunch of people like Reddit did to agree to follow one podcast every week, each week, if everybody followed Jeff that we told to in there and agreed to it, Jeff's podcast would be number 1 on Apple Podcasts. And then you just feed like a stock market type thing. And you just keep getting people to, there is power in numbers. The problem is there's competitiveness too. And it shouldn't be there because quite honestly, we got 6 different shows here about all the same shit. It's all the same. You hear the same news I hear. It's all about delivery. It's all about how we perceive it and see it. But people are listening to hear us, quite honestly. They just want to hear you specifically. So I don't know. I'm going to quit. I'm just going to quit this. I'm going to quit podcasting. That's what I'm going to do.
Don't do it.
I'm going to.
Nah.
And then I'm just going to trash talk podcast. I want to start a podcast where that's all I do is trash other podcasts.
Zach does that. Zach
do it.
I like how Zach's head pops up like, "Ooh, that's me."
Yeah, I do that.
That's gotta be fun. Do you do individual episodes?
Every episode we do 7 clips of aggressively bad podcasts and trash those.
Fred, I'm surprised you haven't heard it about it. You've been featured on it twice.
How many times?
we have to notice you to have you on.
Wait, guys. But like, let me go back. I want to go back to Fred's idea with the food. So,
oh god,
no, because I thought it was a really good idea, which is why I stole it before he even said it. And no, but like where you were going, it's because usually it's one person or like a group, like maybe 2 guys or a man and a wife, and they're like in the car and it's like one thing. But if we all went and got the new pizza from Domino's, whatever, and we all tried it and then had a group discussion about it, that's like a unique spin on that idea. It's not a one thing. And then, you know, it's those type of things people like to listen to and watch. Those, you know, are a niche.
There must be money. There must be money in this because that's the only time the Jew catches on to something and just won't let it go. You know, he's just holding on to that. He finds it and he's like, I've got to make money out of that. I gotta.
Well, no, I want to do it with you guys. I don't know that we can make money out of it. It probably costs us money because we're each buying a pizza.
I think you charge it to the guy in charge, Mick. I think Mick should pay for it.
Oh, can we expense this, Mick?
It sounds like it was Jeff's idea.
Expense this. You have to write a letter to. I don't know. I'm not making shit up.
Well, you don't want us to. You don't want us to rate Kimball's cookies and accidentally tank the review.
Now, do you guys? Speaking of that, do any of you write your podcast off on your taxes? Any of you?
I haven't yet.
I do, but does anybody?
Well, if my CPA says, because I have an LLC, I used to write off all my comedy stuff, all the miles and all.
Yeah, you can do it. All my microphones, my studio, this room, everything is tax deductible on it. The printer I bought, everything is. If you're LLC'd, you know, you got to be LLC.
I have an LLC and I have a DBA for all my show names.
And I think it's important, and I think that's where you're going to see. The strong are going to survive. You're going to see once COVID stops, the weak podcast. But first of all, the average podcast has 7 episodes. That's the average out of all the podcasts that are out there. Because after the seventh episode, editing sucks. Editing is no fun after the 7th, and especially if you add music and all those drops and stuff. It's so tiring. I've had Jeff on 3 times. I'm so sick of hearing his fucking voice talk to me. I've heard every fucking person he's met. So much so, you know, his wife even makes fun of him for it. With a drop that I created. This is how every time he meets somebody, you find out about it.
Well, who else am I going to tell but you guys?
I don't know, but
and I'll tell you something. There's some people I haven't told you yet. Because like, I got some really cool names coming up, and that I have like this whole pile of names of people I haven't done yet.
And personally, even though me and Jeff have a bromance, we have this interesting bromance brewing. Jeff yelled at me the other day. You guys should know. He gave me a little smack, a little tap on the forehead, like kind of like Biden does to little kids. Just a little tap, and kind of flicked me off, gave me a little, back off, buddy. But then he apologized, and we made out on Zoom.
Did you have like a red New York Yankees hat on, and it brought him back to Limp Bizkit days?
Listen, there's nothing in my house. The only Yankee stuff in my house would be toilet paper.
Yeah, Zack shouldn't be making fun of anyone's hat. Zack's hat, he bought at a truck stop on the way up north somewhere.
No, it is at a Spencer's gift. I'll have you know, I spent $25 on this hat. That's a real hat.
Zach, are you concerned, Zach? Are you concerned at all that the FBI is going to recognize you on this show?
No. No, most people think my name's Noah for some reason.
You look like you are in hiding.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a cave, I guess, but yeah, hiding's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
And I'm glad Tim's there. I think Tim's older than me. Tim, how old are you, Tim?
44.
Oh, my God. You just look older than me. That sucks.
Jesus Christ. All right, on that note. All right, this has been another great episode of the Podchatters.
Episode 3, the standards have never been lower.
Podcasters just want to get together. Talk shit.
I'm sorry, Tim.
No, it's fine.
I'll come on your show.
You just look old.
I love that. You're old. Can I come on your show?
Yeah.
Make sure
I'm begging you.
Make sure you're checking out everybody's shows. Fred's quitting, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I'm done. Oh, fuck this.
Don't quit, Fred. Stay. Fred.
Okay.
Please stay.
I hear that guy Jeff needs a his own Ed McMahon for his show.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd go on with Jeff. Jeff doesn't swear though. I don't know if I heard him swear the other day, and he doesn't. He told me he didn't swear.
Was it?
That's right.
Fred, shut the fuck up. Because you kept playing.
My guests swear. There should be like something where you go, does this happen to you guys? Shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I swear on your show?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you just did, so keep going. It's all good.
Well, I appreciate everybody coming on today. Remember, go check out go check out Tim over at Funny Science Fiction and Focus on Forward. Jeff has the Jeff Dwoskin show.
Nice.
And then we have Dylan and Zach who have Some Nobodies. You can check out their whole lineup of shows there. And Jeff Dwoskin is my hero. Fred Carroll, of course, has 3 shows right now. Within the head of Fred, keep going. The Cinephiles Flashback. And what's your third show? Not Fred.
The third.
Ending the Stigma, I think, right?
Ending the Stigma.
Ending the Stigma, which comes out February 5th. Make sure everybody checks it out.
Today would have been a great day for you to launch that, by the way.
Why?
It's Bell's.
Bell Talk Day.
Bell Talk Day.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, it's has to do in Canada. There's the Bell company, and there's the Bell Center, and they sponsor a lot of things, and they do a really cool thing every year where they're trying to raise awareness for mental health awareness and suicide prevention and things along those lines. It's a really cool deal that they do every year, and yeah.
Well, good. Now that I'm aware of it, I'll check it out. I wasn't aware of it. I never heard of it. I don't think I have.
Very
nice.
So
it's if you check it out on Twitter, it's one of the trending hashtags today.
Is that something that feeds down to Detroit from Canada, or is it because you're closer?
Possible.
No, it's because we're trying to end the stigma.
Oh, okay.
Stigma.
Good.
Well, you know what? It's still a good show. You're trying to help people, and that's
Can you Mick, I can't. Can you put the Ucrete 90914 up again in case anyone wants to be famous and buy followers?
Yeah, if anybody wants to be famous and buy followers, Prime and viewers.
What are primes? Am I missing something? Am I
Yeah,
not cool enough?
Like Optimus.
Yeah.
Oh, I want an Optimus.
All the
I'll
primes.
take 2. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bigfollows.com. Go follow.
Urakete.
That's Fred's secret right there, folks.
That's right.
Big names.
I think we all know who Urakete is. So, all right. Thanks, everybody, for joining the Podchatters. This is just a show of podcasters for podcasters talking about podcasting and what stocks they're going to buy tomorrow. So, I will talk to everybody later. You can check out thescenesnobs.com. That's all I got to say. Have a good one, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
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 And that's our show, everybody. Thanks for listening. I am Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and commenting along and everything else. Go check out this show or any of our other shows on thescenesnobs.com. Thescenesnobs.com. We love you. You guys are awesome. And if you would like, follow and subscribe to our social media. That really helps us go a long way. And please spread the word. Tell your friends. Have them come in. We love feedback and everything else. So everybody, you have a great day. Again, thanks for listening. Thescenesnobs.com. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.